So at the start, we're going to say our scores out of 10 of Alappuzha Gymkhana. You ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1,
7.
6.5.
Okay.
Okay, similar vibe,
Close,
yeah?
yeah.
6.5, 7. That's it. Like, generally, the film was all right. I felt like, how did you feel it was?
I thought it was really fun. I think because I watched it after a long work week, and it was just nice to just like chill, and it was like just a really feel good movie. I think.
Yeah, it's quite like simple and stuff. Like, it's quite short as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Runtime's not too long.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those easy watches, right?
Yeah. Like you can just like switch off your brain and then just get transported into like this whole different like world.
Yeah, and I think we'll touch on it a bit more, but I think how I felt the movie was gonna go and then how it did, I think it was a bit different. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it went the way I thought it was gonna go, basically.
Yeah.
But like, let's just talk about the story. No spoilers first, yeah.
I think the story is so simple.
Do you
I
think?
feel like you can like dilute the story into like one sentence, pretty much.
Yeah.
You kind of can, right? But like, it wasn't. I know I hype up how good like Malayalam movie stories are, but this story was so simple. But they just did like such a good job with it.
Yeah. So at the start, we're introduced to 5 college boys, right?
5, yeah.
5 schoolboys. And then they're at that table, and then it's like, did they pass or did they fail?
Yeah.
4 out of the 5 failed, basically. 1 passed, and then Jojo, who's played by Nasleen, right?
Yes.
Like, he's kind of he was like the
ringleader a little bit.
the kind of main kind of leader of that group. Was like, obviously they can't get into the college, right, or wherever because of academic quota. So he was like, do you know what? Let's do it via the sports quota. And then the one sport he thinks of out of all the sports he thought of was boxing, right?
But that's because he didn't get beat up. His
got
friend got
beat up because his friend talked the talk, walked the walk. And
you know, his friend is actually a rapper.
It's D, right? His name was.
His name was DJ in the movie. That's Baby Gene. He's a rapper.
I think I saw that when I was looking at the cast.
Yeah.
But I think it was on when I typed the name in or when I clicked on it. I think there was a Spotify thing or something.
Yeah. So yeah,
he got knocked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the basic premise of the story, right? They want to learn boxing, and that's where the title comes in because what club did they go to?
Alappuzha Gymkhana.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where they learn and stuff. And then we kind of see how their journey goes. Now, like, what did you think of that kind of concept, right? Because it's a bit of a sports comedy type of film, right? I would say.
Yeah, but like you said, I don't think I went into it because I'd only watched just the teaser, so I didn't read anything or do anything. But I saw Nasleen posted, or someone posted a photo of Nasleen from months ago. He was fully ripped. So I was like, damn, like this movie's actually going to end up being like a little serious and stuff at the end. It was not. It was literally like they were taking the piss, I think, the entire movie. Even in like the serious sort of scenes, they were just constantly joking around.
Yeah. Like, I think it was all a bit of like a banter type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Even between the boys, there wasn't really. Now we'll go into the story a bit more, so there will be spoilers ahead.
But are there really any spoilers to spoil in this movie?
Not really,
Not
but I mean,
really,
we're just
right?
gonna give away stuff
that's
now.
true,
So
yeah.
like, if you don't want to know what happens, then that's
Stop
where
watching.
yeah, or you can listen at your own expense. But then this is the thing. So they go to learn boxing, right? One of them decides. DJ, right?
Yeah,
he's like, I'm not learning boxing.
he's like, Gusti's the one for me.
And then he goes to do wrestling, but we see them learn boxing, and then they get this coach, right?
Yeah.
They basically, we see them learn, and it's like 1, 2, or no, 1 first.
You know, that reminded me of Karate Kid. Have you
Which
watched?
one? I've seen the Jaden Smith one, but
Yeah,
not
I've seen
the
that.
OG, the
okay.
OG one.
Yeah, I've seen only the Jaden
Yeah.
Smith one. But like, you know how he's like jacket on, jacket off.
Oh,
So I was like,
okay.
when they were doing the 1, 2, I was like, damn, they're gonna get some like crazy skills, and then they're gonna be so strong. But it was not that
No,
at
it was
all.
nothing. It was just 1, and it was 1, 2. And then we're introduced to another coach, right? Who's called Anthony Joshua. I mean,
Yes.
I wonder where they got that name from. But and then they have this state thing, right? This like state level competition.
No, I think it was like district. District
the little
first,
competition first, and then you see them kind of fight each other. Some of them fight each other,
Yeah,
which
they
was
do.
kind of funny. You know, they were trying to be like, "Are you okay?" and stuff.
No, that was to impress all the girls.
Oh yeah, and
Specifically,
then see, this is the thing, right? Jojo had multiple kind of love angles.
Yo, I was a bit confused with that. I'm like, which one is his girlfriend?
Because there was literally
Three.
three.
Yeah.
One on the boat, who we see.
Yeah.
The girl that he's kind of friends with, and then the girl he meets during boxing.
Yeah.
So he was kind of like moving around. But then this is what happened, right? He got motivated. Was it before the first couple of matches?
No,
Or after?
it was after the district level one and before the state.
Yeah,
level
after he
one,
gets rejected,
Yeah.
basically. Like he was scared to kiss someone.
Yeah.
So like he was So then we see. So he was scared. I think that fueled him a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Like
it did,
I think with him, they kind of tried to portray him as kind of one of the main guys, but I felt like they could have dived in a bit more into that.
No,
like,
but you know what? I really like that because, like you said, it was a group of 5 guys, right? Everyone had their own individual like characteristic, and I think they gave enough importance to all. Actually, it starts off with 5 and then it goes into like how many ever. But I like the fact that he was portrayed as the main one, but everyone else had their own individual backstories.
Yeah, because like going back to what you said, there are 3 more members that join after, right? And then they go to the national.
Yeah.
And then that's when the intermission kind of just
Yeah.
cuts, right? And then the whole second half is pretty much what happens at that boxing event, right? Like we see the matches and stuff. But what did you like about this film? Like, what were there any things that you liked?
Well, I like the second. I mean, I like how they set it up in the first half, but the second half, I thought they did a really good job doing that. But I thought the background music and all the music that was on during the like actual like boxing matches and stuff, I thought that just added so much more to the movie.
Yeah.
So I really like that. I really like Ganapathi. Oh my god, I forgot the character. Deepak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he was in Manyamal Boys as
Okay.
well. And it was directed by one of the guys from Manyamal Boys.
What, this film?
This movie,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The driver in Manyamal Boys
Okay.
is who directed this. Anyways, yeah, so I really liked him. I had no idea he was even in it.
Yeah.
But I thought, like, even though Nasleen was the main, like, guy, I thought he was, like, pretty much up there as well.
Yeah. No, because he only comes in later. Yeah, that's one thing. I think it was quite a funny film. There were quite some funny bits and stuff. And I think it kind of got better towards the end, right? Like, for me, the ending was good. It kind of helped my score for the film.
Yeah.
Like, just that whole fight scene at the end was...
The one outside the box.
The very last fight we get. That was just proper crazy.
That was so good.
All the angles and stuff were just like... Bam, bam, bam. And the coach gets involved. So it was just... That was a lot of fun, actually.
I really liked the coach as well. I thought the coach was really good.
There was that side of him. I think they tried to big him up when he joined the club, right? Like, he's this district level boxer. But then I guess... I mean, they'd go into it a little bit, right? But he wasn't really... Like, there was a side to him that... Not a softer side, but where he went wrong, basically, in terms...
When they first get to the boxing match, and I think he runs into his old coach.
Oh, in that group in the little room, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if they fully talked about why there was like beef there. Oh no, actually, I think they did.
I think right at the end,
they
referenced the girl or something.
Yeah.
And then he gets angry or whatever.
Yeah, so I think that's why. But like, you're right. They introduce him as like this like 2-time gold medalist. Like, but then they don't really explain why he's not still boxing. But then you only find that out in the very end. Yeah.
But I guess another thing is, like maybe what was good is that it kind of fooled me in the sense that I think I wanted it to be a bit more serious and a bit more like emotional, like you know, just have that serious element. But it was nothing like.
That's what I mean. It was
like,
just fun.
It was not serious at all. Like you don't really need to pay attention to, and like you can just sit and watch this. I mean, the boxing was alright. I think the choreography of the boxing was alright. I mean, the last 2 fights in the ring, I would say, were the best ones. So Deepak's one, and the one before that. The one before that was the best one.
Which one was that one?
Is it Sarvanas? The guy with the curly hair. Do you remember? And they fueled him up in the.
The Kiran guy.
Is it Kiran?
Yeah. The one
the tall
that
guy that was doing the gymnastics.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the curly hair. I think his fight was really good because there was a lot of kind of.
I like Cherda, you know, the guy with the blonde hair.
Oh, he was funny.
He was so funny.
And he was the only one that won his fight, so it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I think you knew that as soon as he came on, I think it was that sense that, you know what, he's gonna win. Like
Yeah.
there was that little like
Because like none of them were doing it.
No.
Sorry, spoilers. None of them were winning any of the boxing
and
matches.
then it
and
gets
was-
to him, and I think that you could tell like they just gave that indication that
yeah.
someone's gonna win, and it had to be him, which makes it a bit more like funnier and stuff. Like he was just like,
But then I was like, man, I thought Nasleen was gonna win. I'll be
yeah,
honest.
that was a bit disappointing. Not gonna lie, like,
But you know, it was so funny when he was like hiding behind the ref.
oh,
And-
Jojo was,
Yeah, Jojo was. Yeah, he was like hiding behind the ref, and like I just like his entire one.
because he started to show off a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
it
like-
was so unserious.
and then just he lost.
It looked like like in the movie leading up to that point, it looked like he was out of like Deepak and Kiran, and I don't know who
The rest, yeah.
yeah, so out of those guys, it looked like he was the most like committed
I
to
think,
this.
and his fight could have gone because his fight was not even last, so like they didn't
Yeah.
even hype it up. His was just in the middle, but I guess that's what they were trying to show. Like
But
it
yeah.
wasn't one person's direction. It was there as a group, so
Yeah.
they're gonna stick.
That's why I
As a
really
group as
liked
well.
it. That's why I really liked it because like I said, all of them had their own individual like characteristics and stuff, and it wasn't like even though Nasleen is the like poster boy for it.
Yeah,
I like that he wasn't hyped up at the end. I like that it was like the opportunities were given to other people and stuff.
yeah. Because then talking about the plot as well a bit more, like at the end we see Deepak throwing that like drop out. That was kind of, it wasn't a
Yeah.
shock, but it was like, oh, like what happened?
I didn't expect that.
No,
because
he looked like he was gonna win, so I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
also his match was really good.
yeah,
that was so
his
entertaining.
was the last one, and he was winning, and
Yeah.
then just like
He just,
But I guess because the whole thing, what happened before, like the altercation where the guy threatened them,
yeah,
which led up to the fight scene at the end.
yeah.
But the boxing was not decent, I think, for
Yeah.
for what it was. But then this is the thing, right? I don't think it was about the boxing really. This film
No.
was not really. Well, like, what do you think about it?
I think it was about the boys. I think
Hmm.
it was about like just the friendship that they have. And you know what? I don't know about you. I was like, damn, like I want to know these guys. Like they seem like so chill, like so fun to like hang out with. Even like I keep calling him Baby Gene, DJ.
Yeah.
He wasn't even like part of the whole boxing thing, but he was just there nonstop, and how they were hyping each other up before every single match.
Oh, the little entrance.
yeah, that was so good. Everyone was laughing, but I thought it was so cool.
But then that's the thing. Everyone was laughing, but then when they go back for that guy's second, is it the
Yeah.
second match he does? 'Cause,
Yeah.
when he fights the
Yeah.
girl, then all of a sudden the whole crowd start to do it.
Yeah.
And then I don't think, did I expect that? No, I don't think.
I didn't expect it
I didn't
either.
expect the whole crowd because I think they were just gonna walk.
I thought they would like people were just like taking the piss
but
out of them.
I
the
think it
entire
grew on
time.
everyone.
Yeah.
Like it was like, I think they were shocked.
it was pretty cool. though.
But then they had to kind of dip a bit early.
Yeah.
But then even in and also because this will link in how you said DJ wasn't the one that did boxing.
Yeah.
But then after the entrance, they leg it, right? And they
Yeah.
have that whole fight scene. And then all of a sudden, we see DJ come in. And as we mentioned, like, towards the beginning, DJ did wrestling.
Yeah.
And those skills actually got put to use.
They
I think
actually did, yeah.
that was another thing that kind of was good, actually. Like, they gave him a little bit of a spotlight that, okay, do you know what? You went on to learn something else, but
But at the end, DJ's like, yeah, I'm gonna do boxing now.
I don't...
Yeah, so
Wait, did
he
he
was
say
like,
that?
yeah, he did. So you know how spoilers. So like they're all talking about the next year's like district thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Nasleen's
At
like,
the
I'm
house.
not gonna do it. Yeah. And DJ's like, yeah, I'm gonna like do boxing now as well. I like DJ. He was like everyone's like hype man.
And the guy with the blonde...
Yeah, Cherla, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I think it's Cherla means smaller, Valida means bigger. And they both have the same name.
Okay.
So that's why they call one Cherla and one.
Who was the older one?
He was
Tall guy.
Tall guy.
Oh, at the butcher shop.
I think. No, at the butcher
Yeah,
shop.
that was after
that's
that
the
girl,
one.
innit? Yeah.
Oh, exactly that one. And like I thought it was so cute because not cute, but I think it was like a good callback because obviously like they call him Cherla because he's the smaller one, and then he like tells him, he's like, who do you think is the smaller one now? Like I won my match. What did you do? Because he was like throwing up. No, he wasn't the one throwing.
Oh no,
up.
that was the other guy at the
The
start.
other guy, yeah.
The other guy, but he got knocked out, right? The taller guy,
Yeah.
and it was just.
Dude, I felt some of those. I was like, man, like I just felt the pain that like some of those guys went through.
But then I guess that was another thing they were trying to portray. Like it's not about the winning, right? Because I was thinking, you know what? Hopefully they make it, like I said, a bit more dramatic, and then more than one of them win. But it wasn't about that. It was like as long as they get one win.
I think that's why they wanted to join forces with the girls' team because the girls' team were clearly winning like everything.
But then I think JoJo wanted it for another reason as well, like the whole like love.
What did you think about those, by the way? Like, do you think like how necessary was
some of it was a bit pointless. Like, I think what they could have done is, I'm just trying to think. But then see the one that he met on the boat fueled his motivation.
Yeah, that's
one of them was just his friend. So then I think
no, that Sharon girl wasn't his friend. That was his girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah, the one on the boat was his girlfriend.
So he's got
the Sharon girl was his girlfriend, and then the other one, I think Natasha or something.
Yeah,
was
the one
someone that he had a
but
crush on.
They kind of all do fit into the story, but I think
yeah.
they could have maybe highlighted one more than the other. If you like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they could have just focused on one and made it a bit more deeper, right?
Yeah.
Because do we see them at the end? No,
none of them come at the end.
They just because it's just about the boys, right? At the end. But was there anything in this film that you weren't a fan of or thought that could have been better?
It was just that, to be honest.
The love angle.
Yeah, like I was like, as in, you're right. They are like important to the plot, but it was just like, did we need that much of it? Like, I just did not like the fact that he was such a player. Because, like, other than that, he just seems like such a wholesome person, right? So I was like, did he need to be such a player? Like, he was cheating on, like, 2 different girls at the same time. Like, he would literally be flirting with one on the boat. He would get off the boat, and then he would meet the second one.
See the other one, yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. Like, the love angle was a bit, like, not necessary. Also, there's a thing, I don't know if you noticed it. They never touched upon getting into the school after, right? They never, I don't think they ever...
No, they did.
Did they?
Because when they were talking about who was going to go to the next, like, district level thing or something, Nasleen was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm actually going to try and study and get... Because he was like, I've already got my grace marks. So, like, he already, like,
okay, I thought...
So he was like, I'm not going to go back into boxing. I'm just going to try and, like, study because I get, like, extra marks now.
Ah, okay. So then they do touch upon it. Slightly, right?
Slightly, yeah.
But then, like, I'm just trying to think, is there anything... I don't think there's anything else I didn't like. It was just an, like, easy watch.
It was, I just... Like I said, like, you could just go to the movies, switch off, and then just, like, have, like, just laugh. Like, I was... My the theater was like pretty much full actually, and people were just like hyping Nasleen up when he came in. You know, they were screaming for Nasleen, which is actually crazy because like he's only like, I think we touched on this with like the Empuran one. Like Mohanlal and Mammootty get like crazy hype and people are screaming and all of that. Nasleen was getting it.
So it's good to see, like, the younger generation.
Yeah.
Because you don't really get that now, do you?
And, like, all of the boys, except, like, Ganapathi, so except Deepak.
Yeah.
And they're all, like, just normal. There's no, like, star value, or they're not, like, you know, massive.
Yeah.
But they all did, like, such a great job.
Yeah, they all played their parts, right, in this film. Because, other than that, I can't really say anything about, like, this was, like, a bad film or nothing. Like, it was a simple film. But, like, music, what did you think of the music?
I love the music.
Really?
Yeah. Because Vishnu Vijay did Premalu. Okay. I don't know if you ended up watching Premalu.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Still, no.
He did the music for Premalu as well. That has Nasleen as well.
Okay, yeah.
And the vibe of the music is just so fun. Like, it's one of those, like, you can listen to it and your mood changes sort of thing. But this one, I feel like it had to be tailored more towards, like,
the fighting
and stuff. And I think it definitely added to it because, like, at the end of the day, they are, like, amateur boxers. So I think you needed that music to sort of, like, add to the scenes.
Complement it. Yeah, I mean, I think the music was alright. I'm just trying to think. Maybe some parts were okay, like, better than others. Like, when you were saying, the fight scene and stuff.
Yeah.
But there wasn't really much music, and
there was like one song at the beginning.
There wasn't really a main type of like album type, you know, like this song, that song, and like.
But I think they released I think the song's called Gymkhana, so that one is like 42 seconds long. And it's sort of like the entry, when all the boxers enter.
Oh, is that the
So
song?
it's like it's like a bit of that and a bit of like he adds other stuff to it. It's 42 seconds, but it's like it's even that like packs a punch.
Really?
No pun intended.
Yeah, because I'm just and the end. Yeah, the fight scene at the end was like crazy. And then this is the thing, right? Because now at the end, right, we see that big fight scene where the gang comes and they all fight, and that's where you're like, hold up, this whole time they never used their skills properly, really,
and they had to be out on the street,
and then all of a sudden when they're in a street fight they use it. So I don't know if that was the message of the film in a sense.
Oh, you know what, I actually didn't pick up on that.
Like the message was that you learn all this boxing just to be a street fighter. And I think the coach does mention about it, and he's like, I'm not going to do it because I've just, taught, or like we've just done it.
For the streets,
for the streets, basically, like what did you think? I think that's a message that might have been attached to the film.
Yeah, no, I get that as well. But now that you say it, other than that, I was just like watching it. I was like, man, these guys are so funny. But now that you say it, that makes sense. Like he does say that as well. And I think he also ties it back into why he like stopped doing proper boxing, because he was like, I let anger like take that away from me the first time, which is the same thing that's happened this time, right? Like they've all clearly gotten pissed off. Also, why was there such a big rivalry between
the two gangs? I don't know. Was it the people that they were fighting? Because at the start there was that little altercation outside.
Yeah, what was that?
I think maybe they were just fighting people. The guy with the fancy footwork.
Yeah.
I think
my god,
what the hell was that? First? Like,
no. So then I don't know who was fighting him, but he started doing the same thing.
Was it Jojo?
It wasn't Jojo.
Or Deepak? No, it was Jojo. No.
Was it? I forgot, but whoever, so pretty much like one of the ones in the...
It was the earlier ones, I think.
Yeah, it was one of the earlier ones. Because everyone was laughing at that. The crowd actually made it so much better,
Really? Your cinema?
Yeah, everyone was laughing like the entire time.
Was it that... We only had... I wouldn't say ours was packed. Like, there was... like
ours is pretty much packed.
Really? Yeah, it wasn't that...
It was just the front, like, couple of rows that weren't taken. But it actually... I was glad that I went when it was a packed cinema, because the second half is just full of the whole like boxing matches, right? It actually felt like a stadium in the like, I think they with the sound effects and music and stuff, it actually made the theater feel like a stadium.
Yeah. Okay.
And obviously when everyone's hyping it up as well,
it makes
a difference.
Because we didn't get... I don't feel like we got that.
Yeah.
I think maybe like inside of me, like when they were doing the boxing, it was kind of like, okay, we want them to win, we want them to win. But out on the outside, you couldn't really...
I came home and I was like, I was ready to fight my husband.
Oh yeah. But then actually going back to that, like another message that they could attach, like even like in real life, we all want to try this new sport or this sport because it's cool or whatever. But if actually it doesn't work out, like... And
you know what? Touching on that, what I really like is the fact that because it's India, right? I feel like parents are so inclined to just like push you towards like academics and all of that. But all the parents in this movie, including Jojo's mum to some extent, were sort of like okay with them just like focusing on sport. Even the girls that are like competing as well. And I think that's so important, and that's like an important change, because in India, like you grow up and then everyone's just like, get your grades, get 100% and like every single thing, and like you don't really give yourself that much time to focus on other things. And I think that this did a really like it could have opened eyes. I'm not sure, but it could have opened eyes.
Yeah, because I think the only thing the mum says to Jojo is like, just don't come back in
an ambulance.
But then it's kind of funny because then he comes back in an ambulance and then the mum's like, what?
Yeah, I mean he literally could have just left the ambulance outside, but he's like, you know what, I'm gonna come home in an ambulance.
And let's just talk about the final scene, because we've said that I think at the end that he says he doesn't want to do boxing, and then DJ wants to, but then he's like, I'm not gonna do boxing. I want to be like the motivation kind of
manager,
guy, right? Yeah, the manager of the club, and
the
then
kingmaker. They call him the kingmaker.
and then because they back him up. They're like, your son's not a loser to the mum and stuff. They all literally back him up, and it's like, we're gonna go for nationals next year.
Yeah.
So would you be up for a sequel if they do it?
I would.
Yeah.
Because like I keep saying, the characters were just so fun to, like, I feel like I got to know them a little bit watching the movie. So I would want to follow up on it, and I would want to see like what actually ends up happening. But I'm not sure like how much they can do with the story, given that it was such a simple story to begin with. So I don't know how they can like
extend
fully,
it. Yeah. I think I would be up for it. Like I would look forward to a second part. I mean, they'd probably just do the whole thing like getting back to it. But then they'll need a new coach because AJ is not gonna.
I mean, we don't know.
Or he will do it,
unless Jojo becomes a coach.
But he's only done it for one kind of. Yeah.
Also, can I this is completely off topic.
Yeah.
But Deepak, like he taught himself off YouTube.
Oh yeah. And he was that,
He was that good, and he taught himself off YouTube.
That's it.
Yeah, that's why I liked little like details like that.
Because that's what kind of happens nowadays. So there's like that reference to today's world, right? And the other guy was doing gymnastics, and it was like, remember the guy was hanging, one of the other new guys. Yeah, so I guess
who was the other new guy? The other new guy got knocked out in like
the curly hair, the guy.
No, the one. Oh,
the one that threw up. Yeah. He was so out of it. And he was like to the doctor, Mum, Dad, Mum, Dad. Like, what was going on? Like, that was kind of funny. But like, even going back to the coach, the fight scene at the end, when how he starts it was kind of cool. He was just like, you know what, F this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight.
But like, I actually felt bad for him, like when Deepak did the was it walk
for like just stop.
Yeah, he was like stop. I felt so bad for him because he like obviously stormed out. He's obviously spent months like training these guys, so to have to do that over like obviously what's clearly a threat is like I felt for him like
But then Deepak does say why, like he just doesn't want anyone else to get hurt, basically, right?
Yeah,
like, it was kind of that. Looking after the whole team, which is fine. I don't think there was not one selfish person like from the characters in this film.
No, they were all like just like really good friends. Even though like obviously it was the main 4 or 5 to begin with, and then 3 joined after. They still all had that like
friendship.
Yeah,
like they welcomed them in regardless. Yeah. It was not like, and there was no tension. Like we don't really get to see any tension between them, right? So I don't know. That's what they were trying to like portray as well. Like they were just all like a tight.
It was family. Friendship, man. That was like, my favorite part.
Yeah, like their ride or die. I mean, do you think this is worth watching in the cinema?
In my cinema, I would say like if you are going to watch it in a packed cinema, then I would say watch it in the theaters, just because like I said, the second half of the movie actually like I felt like I was in a stadium because of like how good the crowd was and all of that. But if it's like an empty cinema, I don't know. Like I would rather watch it in OTT because like I didn't know if it had that like full proper cinema sort of viewing thing. Yeah. And I feel like this movie is going to do great in OTT. Like, I feel like people love watching it in OTT. But only if the theater was going to be packed, would I say.
I think it'd still be a good one to check out. Because there was a lot of films to come out that came out on 10th of April. I mean, I'd say go watch this instead of Bazooka is where I would be at. Definitely.
You know, I had booked my tickets to Bazooka.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And then I usually don't look at reviews, and I was like, this one I was a bit, because the trailer wasn't like so
for Bazooka.
Yeah. So then I literally last minute I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch Alappuzha Gymkhana instead, because I spooked myself out. I was like, I don't want to pay this much on a ticket. But yeah, I would definitely recommend. Because it's Vishu on Monday, so like I think they've released that. They released another Basil Joseph movie as well.
Yeah, we're getting it next week though. We haven't got it yet.
Mass?
Yeah, we haven't got it yet. On Cineworld, it's coming out like in the UK on Thursday. Yeah, we haven't got it yet.
Did it release in India then?
Potentially. I'm not 100%
I'm not sure. But yeah, out of those, I think like if you want to just
enjoy,
like I would say Alappuzha Gymkhana.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say go and watch it. Like Bazooka was okay, but if you had to pick between, like, if I had to pick between one Malayalam film, I would say like.
Would you say Bazooka's more OTT then?
No, I mean if
oh, not even that.
I don't know, because like if you're a Mammootty fan, then you all got like I would say go and watch it because I will be doing a review on that as well. But yeah, I think this was just like take your friends to this one and just sit there and like relax.
That's because I went by myself. I love going to the movies by myself.
Oh, really? Same. I went by myself as well for this one.
So I went by myself, and obviously everyone. I had a lot of fun, but everyone that was in their like groups of friends, they like seemed like they were having more fun naturally. But you're right. Like because we've got a couple of bank holidays coming up, right? So if you take your friends and you can watch it, then
that I think that will be good. But is there any other film like now that you've watched it? Is there any other films that you're looking forward to?
Thudaram.
Yeah, the Mohanlal one coming up.
One.
Yeah.
So that's the next on my watch list.
That's coming out. Is it 25th? So not next Friday, Friday after.
Yeah. But that's so we get a bit of a break. Actually, I'm glad we get because we had 2 weeks after. Well, I had 2 weeks after Emperor.
Yeah.
And then now I have 2 weeks after this.
Oh yeah, I've been in the cinema since.
Yeah. You've been in the cinema.
I've watched full film in the space of 2 days. But yeah, there's that which will be. But he's also in Ganapathi as well, right?
He is, yeah.
And this is a thing, right? Like someone interviewed him and he gave the whole list of how many films he's working on. And he said some, and then he said, "Oh, we're gonna shoot some after. Like these are the ones we're gonna shoot after." Like he just had L2 Emperor, and so they're like Malayalam, like the actors are so on it. Even Mammootty had Dominic and Ladies Person January. Then he had Bazooka, like.
And then now he has another one. I think later this.
The one with the cigarette.
Yeah, with the cigarette. Yeah.
And he's got one more in 2025. Is it something 21 or something? I'm trying to think. There's one more he has, and I don't know if it got delayed until.
Is that the one with Mohanlal?
No, Mohanlal mentioned that one, but I think that's later. I think there's another one.
Yeah, because I think that one is Mohanlal, Mammootty. I want to say Fahad Fasil.
Wait, no way. Really?
Yeah, I think the director is Mahesh Narayanan, but I forgot. Yeah.
All three?
Yeah, I think so. It's either Fahad Fasil or Kunjaka Bowen. It's one of those. But I'm not sure because I don't know about Mammootty, so I don't know if that's been delayed or anything.
Because if that'll be mental though, not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude.
Damn, there is still
There's just so much to look forward to.
But like even like non-Malayalam films, is there anything you like? Will you watch Ganapathi because of Mohanlal?
Probably not. No. I would probably get dragged into watching because my husband watches all of these that sort of movies. I'll probably get dragged into watching it. But no, I don't. Yeah, like I love him to death, but I don't think I'm that big of a.
Because I don't know how big his role will be. Like the only reason why I think I'm gonna go and watch that film is because of Prabhas. Like
true, yeah.
That's the only like.
Okay, this is like crazy, but the only reason I watched Jailer is because of Mohanlal.
What? Not even Rajni?
No. I think I've watched one Rajni movie, and that was Padayappa, and I got forced to watch it, and I did not like it.
Why? Well, I haven't seen it, but it's one of like his iconic ones.
Yeah.
Though. Really? Why did you not like it?
I don't know. I think he had to grow up with
him. That
sort of like you had to grow up with him. You had to grow up watching like that sort of movies.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes a movie like Alappuzha Gymkhana like different, right? Because you can just watch it at any point.
Yeah. You don't need to watch it back in the 90s. Like, if it came out in the 90s, you wouldn't have to... Because I get what you mean. There are certain films...
Oh, you know what? Okay. I always do this with my friends, and this is a theory I have. When did you watch Mehuna?
I think that was my first film in cinema.
So when you were a kid, right?
So I think it came out 2004, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was my very first film in the cinema.
Okay, what are your opinions on
I thought it was, like, alright. Like, why, you didn't like it?
No. So... my theory is, if you watch Mehuna when you're a kid, you love it. I love Mehuna. Okay. It's like one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
But if you watch Mehuna when you're older, you don't like it. Because like you're like, oh wait, no, how does that make any sense? Like he's jumping like into a
Oh,
helicopter,
the
like
running.
all of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
But if you watch it as a kid, like you love it. So same thing with Padayappa, same thing with
Yeah.
like these like old school movies.
And also, I think that's the same thing with, okay, Nayakan, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I watched it. I sat through it.
You watch which, sorry?
Nayakan. So like
yeah.
OG Kamal Hassan's one.
Yeah.
I think that's the film everyone would say to watch,
Yeah.
right, of his. I watched that last month, I would say, on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Like, you just rent it and
Yeah.
stuff. No, it was a good film. Like, Mani Ratnam, the visuals, like the structure of the visuals were like
Yeah.
amazing and stuff. Like, it was a good film, but like where people would have loved it, like I liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it. Like, it was still a good film, and it's one everyone has to watch, no matter what your age is. And the music in it is actually, the song is just so beautiful. But I think for me, maybe if I was born then and watched it, I would have loved it more. Or maybe if I watched it again.
That's the thing with like GVM, the one that's in Bazooka, right? Like, if you watch old school GVM movies now, and you hadn't watched it then, you're like, oh my god, this movie is like, even the way they've shot it, it's very different. And not everyone's going to like it, right? But then if back in the day, those sort of movies were like game changers.
Exactly, like all these old films. Like that's why maybe the not older generation, but people that grew up, basically, people that grew up watching those films probably loved it. Even for us, like when I did the Bollywood podcast episode here, the two girls, the film Walis basically said, like Jasmine and Natasha, or like they said that, you know, why we like the 2000s, you know, because it's nostalgia and everything, and then like why people love the 90s is probably because, you know, they have that nostalgia there and they could like relate to it then. Like, I think
that's so true.
It's just different to where it was like today and back then, right?
So that's why, like, I think you have to sort of grow, and it sucks because especially with Malayalam cinema, there's so many like great movies, but I feel like anyone that watches it now might not love it. Yeah. Like how people, because I think I mentioned this in like the other podcast, like my family is the one that grows up just with dialogues. Like all we talk about is like different movies and different dialogues. So to be like that level is very hard when you're just watching it for the first time.
Yeah, because like let's say if I go back and watch Mani Chitrataram, I don't know, do you think I'll still like it or not?
We recently, like after we watched Emperor, I went to my sister-in-law's house and we watched it again. The way all of us were just speaking the dialogues as they were coming. So I think like that is a timeless movie.
Okay.
But have you watched it yet?
No, I think it's on Prime now, but I think you have to pay for it, but it's fine.
I think you have to watch it.
Yeah.
So it's so much better than Bhool Bhulaiya. Like, it's so much better than Bhool Bhulaiya.
Okay, so that's one. But, like, there's so many films now. Like, is there any other ones you're looking forward to instead of, like, outside of Malayalam? Like, any...
No, man. I think,
really?
like, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's all this hype about, like, different movies that are being made. But, like, obviously... we haven't seen any like posters or trailers or anything other than Thodaram, which is I think the one that I'm looking forward to the most. It's sad because they released the trailer for Thodaram I think like maybe the day before Emperor released or the day of, and I was like, damn, like I look like that movie just looks so good. Really, so then like because I didn't love Emperor, right? So I was like, at least I have that one to look forward to.
Watch out for,
because I thought it had like a Drishyam vibe.
Okay. Well, Drishyam 3 is going to happen as well now, isn't it?
Unfortunately.
Wait, you're not looking forward to it?
No, because how much more can you drag the story? Don't get me wrong. One of my all-time favorite movies. But how much more can you drag that story? And what's he going to do? Get caught by the cops again and then lie to get out of it again? You can't.
No, they'll have to. Because I've seen the Hindi ones. So obviously they'll probably remake it.
Have you not watched the Malayalam version?
Not the original. I've seen the Hindi ones.
Rohan, you have to watch Drishyam 1 at least.
Okay.
Like, next level by Mohanlal.
Like even better. Oh, it must be better then. Is it better than the original?
That is the original.
No, not the original. Sorry.
Okay, that's crazy.
Well, no, I didn't mean
that. Was crazy.
Like, it's better than Ajay Devgan one. Sorry, better than the Ajay Devgan one.
Way better than Ajay Devgan's one.
Damn.
Please don't even compare the two.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because there's so many other films like. Rajini's got Coolie. I think the one I'm looking forward to the most is War 2 with like Hrithik and Junior NTR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just. think
wasn't it Tiger in the first one?
Yeah, Tiger was in the first one.
And he's not in the second one.
No.
Oh.
But I mean, if you watch the first one, if you watch the first one, you'll see why it's not. But Junior NTR's in this one. Did he die? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything about that. But they'll probably carry on from that. Like, I think that will be massive. Like, because Junior NTR, epic dancer. Hrithik Roshan, epic dancer. Now, when I see them two dancing together, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Because like, I think they are the best. Like, they're at the top. Them and Allu Arjun and like Ram Charan, Vijay, they're like the top.
I don't know, man. I'm just not hyped about Bollywood movies
really
anymore.
No, it's more Malayalam.
Not even just
like
Malayalam movies. Like, I was talking to a girl from work, and she was saying that she's Kashmiri.
Okay.
But her mum just like hates Bollywood, only watches South Indian movies.
Really?
And I was like, you know what? She's right. She's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Because Bollywood, I don't know, man. I just don't want the whole song and dance and like all this extra
stuff,
like item songs and all of that. Like, you can, like, this movie is a clear example of how you don't need any of that.
Alappuzha Gymkhana. There was none of that, basically. Like, they, like you said, I think they did try to kind of weave it in. Like, it wasn't unnecessary.
Yeah, it was anything. Like, it was all and this is what I mentioned before, right? There is music, but the music is always adding to the plot somehow. It's not like a random item song or anything like that.
Yeah, it just kind of fits in with the vibe of the film. But I just want to ask you, is there any Malayalam films you think should re-release like today?
Ooh. Yeah. I think they've already done Spadagam, so that's one of Mohanlal's movies.
Okay.
But the back in the day mass movies that made like Mohanlal and Mammootty. Yeah. Mohanlal and Mammootty. Like Rajamanikyam.
Okay.
That's like a Mammootty movie. Yo, if that got re-released now, people would go crazy, you know?
There was an epic kind of film Mammootty did that re-released, I think maybe a few weeks ago or last month. There was one...
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Yeah, check that out.
I know there was one that re-released.
I know they do, like, re-release movies sometimes. Yeah. Like, but not to, like... Because Naran and stuff, like, that's a Mohanlal movie as well. I swear they re-released that, but I'm not, like... I don't know if it was, like, a... widely known thing.
Was it? Yeah, Oro Vadakan
Veeragata.
Yeah, I think.
Did they re-release that?
I think that was the one. I think according to here, it might have been that one. Well, it says re-release in Kerala in February 2025. But I think we got that here in the UK as well.
Oh, damn.
I think there was one last year as well, but I don't know if it was Mani Chitratara. I think.
I don't think it was. Oh no, it was Mani. They did. They did do a Dolby. Re-release of that one.
Missed that one out.
Yeah, dude. But like I said, all the old school Mohanlal and Mammootty mass movies.
Eminem. Like, are those... I mean, they are the OGs, right, of Malayalam, like, cinema.
And that's, like, with those sort of movies, because obviously they both did roles before that, but those are the ones, like, the bigger-than-life sort of characters.
Yeah, and back then, I think people probably... Because they might have not seen as much, or maybe seen a lot back then, but then they was like, okay, oh, damn, back then. Like now we've seen enough of it and stuff, but, like, we still love it. Like, that's kind of my cup of tea for films, and they're big action entertainers, but
there's a movie called 2020. Okay. It's got Mohanlal, Mammootty, Suresh Gopi. It's got literally every single actor. I would love to see that re-release.
Really? When did that come out?
2007 or 8, I believe. Literally has one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Really? Is it good? Is it worth watching?
It is worth watching. I made my husband watch it recently, and he's like not super obsessed with Malayalam movies, but this one he was like, oh damn.
Was it that
like,
good? Yeah. Okay.
It was one of those older movies that you could watch now and still be like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What just happened?
Because I think 2000, 2007s and stuff, I think you can watch and still enjoy it. Yeah. Even today.
Yeah.
I think but maybe that's because on the type of films I grew up. So maybe for me, it's like going back to watch those, I kind of like them a bit more just because the over the top stuff, and that's my cup of tea.
I think it's such a specific genre, and I feel like that's why some people walk away from Malayalam cinema a bit more, because like they like, I feel like Bollywood, correct me if I'm wrong, Bollywood is mostly like over the top.
I don't know.
Like
I don't
Sikandar, I thought, like, from what I saw.
But that was a South Indian director.
Who was it?
A.R. Murugadoss.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. South Indian director. It was that South Indian template. But I don't know. They try to do it through song and dance, I think. They have obviously had that action like Mehuna.
Yeah.
And stuff. So they have. But I don't think it's as much as we see from like the Telugu industry and the town. I think Telugu industry, like in terms of masala and over the top action,
that's clear masala.
That's like at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and it's the most violent, I would say.
Marco?
Marco's Malayalam film. So now they've taken the top for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like we said, like even with Alappuzha Gymkhana, it's just a simple film.
Dude, you're actually getting better with pronouncing it every single time you say it.
I don't know. It's just
you're like an honorary Malayali now.
no, yeah. Maybe if I watch a few more films.
Yeah.
But if I watched Puli. I told you, didn't I? Puli Morgan.
What did you think of that?
It was alright. It was just that.
Yeah.
It's different. I mean, the whole tiger aspect, but it was. Yeah.
I think he experimented quite a bit in that time. Like he did Odian as well. Okay. That did so bad, unfortunately.
I want to watch. I know it's a, correct me if I'm wrong, Tamil film of Mohanlal, Irua.
Yes.
Old Money
with
Is it Aishwarya Rai?
Aishwarya Rai.
I need to. Yeah, that's one I want to.
There's a lot of like old school ones like that I feel like would need a re-release, because I just feel like it's such a forgotten part of the industry where like I feel like because Malayalam cinema is getting put more on the map now, it'll just make it more accessible for people to watch like these old school movies. And
like going back to like these Malayalam actors like Mohanlal, Mammootty, I think I mentioned it, how they've had like, you know, Mammootty had a film in Jan now. Same with Mohanlal, right? He's had one in March, one in April. Now, not many actors are on that like grind, basically on that work mode where they do, let's say, well, I mean, it's not even half the year and they've done they're going to do two films each, right? Or Mammootty's already done it. Yeah, 2 films each. And we're like, what, a third away nearly for the year. So I'm sure they're going to have like a few more films. Like not many actors do that. I think where, I don't know, because it's like some actors just do one film every 2 years. I think the grind is that. I mean, people don't do it nowadays, do they? Really?
Also, I think the Malayalam audience is more forgiving. For example, like Shah Rukh Khan, I feel like, I don't know after which movie.
Zero.
Was it Zero?
He took that break, yeah. He took
a massive break because he wasn't
doing well,
doing well with it. And I think the Malayalam film industry is just, not the industry, sorry, the actual people that watch the movie are so much more forgiving. For example, Mohanlal had his like first directorial movie come out, I think on Christmas Day or maybe like the day before Christmas or something.
Is it Barrows?
Barrows, yeah. That flopped so
really
hard.
Did you watch it?
So hard. No, I didn't even watch it. And I asked my parents if they were gonna watch it because they love him as well. They're like, no, like.
Okay.
But they ended up watching it on OTT.
Okay.
But to even like he got so trolled, you know.
Really?
He got so trolled for that movie. But the way he bounced back after that,
you can't say anything.
He's not even getting trolled actually.
No.
As in, he's getting trolled literally when I left here on Sunday or whenever we did the podcast. I opened my phone and shit had hit the fan.
Really?
There was like so much controversy happening that day because he ended up apologizing.
Oh, for the cuts. That's what I mean. At the time when we recorded,
not for the cuts. He apologized for not making the cuts. And then he ended up making the cuts. So it could have gone one of two ways, right? He could have gotten drama or controversy for not apologizing. But then he apologized, and then people were like, oh, you're so spineless. Like, the L's that were sprinkled through the Emperor movie were taken from your spine.
What?
Like, Mohan Lal, the L stands for loss. Like, it was just crazy,
dramatic,
you know? Yeah.
But then, you know what? This is where people go wrong, yeah? I can't lie. Like, people need to... I don't know how to put it in a nice... Actually, I can. People just not need to grow up. People do need to stop crying when it comes to...
Stop being snowflakes.
Yeah, stop crying when it comes to watching films that show explicit like content, because like if they can show it. I mean, Hollywood. I don't think does anyone go against what they show. I'm not. I mean, there's probably films where people have kicked up a fuss, but in India, oh my god, every 5 films, every film or every big film which has a certain state, or everyone loves to kick up a fuss. I mean, one thing, yes, it can be part of marketing reasons.
Yeah.
That people want to do it, but at the same time, us as people, we kind of, it's a film, yeah. Like, I mean, Animal made a lot of cry over.
Yeah. But Animal made money,
From my point of view, I see it as a film. I see it as, oh yeah, I'm gonna turn around with a machine gun and start.
No, I'm
not gonna.
I
don't think anyone, like, how many people actually think that in the world? Because, like, a film is a film, like, but then this is a film. People like to talk the talk when it comes to Animal, Kabir Singh, but the amount of money they will still make. So you're still going to support that film regardless. I mean, do you know what I mean? So why are you going to watch it if you're talking shit before? Obviously, you can talk crap about it or try and like say you didn't like it or whatever after, but that's valid because you watched the film. But before that, before you don't know what you're actually fully seeing, or like I just
even Alappuzha Gymkhana, man. I read somewhere that someone was like, "You're gonna teach kids how to fight now."
Really?
And it's like it's not that deep.
Why are people making like?
I mean, do I kind of... Because after... I don't know if I mentioned this. After Sukshma Darshini, there was a copycat murder. This guy cut his wife up and put her in pressure cookers and cooked her.
What?
And I was like... Everyone was like, oh, it was after Sukshma Darshini because they were just trying to show like how to dispose of a body. I was like, it's not that deep. But Drishyam, Drishyam actually had copycat. Like someone tried to dispose of a body that way.
No way.
As well.
I mean, people would use it as a...
I mean, it's genius.
And a book. But going back to Sukshma Darshini, that was not even the whole point of the film.
Right?
The whole point was not about husband and wife. Really, it's not husband.
No, it's not, yeah.
So, I don't know, like, just... It's interesting.
Also, I don't think it's just the Indian censor board, I feel like it's different censor boards around the world because Marinamas got banned from, I think it was Kuwait.
What?
Kuwait and somewhere else because they had a transgender actor in the movie.
And, okay, going back to this as well, like, back in the day, lots of things were allowed. Obviously now with people and stuff, it's a bit more sensitive, but I think we still need to have that thing. Like, I'm not a fan when stuff gets cut. Like, I hate it pretty much. Like, when Game Changer came out this year, they cut out action just before the intermission, during the end. They cut out so much of the action. Even when I went to watch Leo, right, last 2 years now, they cut out the action. They cut out pretty much most of the action in the end scene, and we're like, what? Like, I just hate it. I think that needs to definitely change. Like, okay, you want... But I guess at the end of the day, it is all about the money, right?
Dude, they cut out some swear words from Alappuzha Gymkhana.
Really?
Yeah, like swear words that I know these people be using on a daily basis. And it's like, what's the point? What are you trying to, like, baby? What are you trying to hide away?
Just let it show. Like, even with Good, Bad, Ugly, right? Ajit Kumar's film. On the censor thing, it says, like, 15, Good, Bad, Ugly, but it says international version.
Yeah, even Emperor, when they re-released it, we still get the normal one here.
Thank God for that.
Like, I know.
Like, people...
But, like, there was that one scene that they could have cut. And I wish they had cut.
Oh, really?
Just that one scene, because that made me so uncomfortable. I wish they had just here released that, like, after cutting that one scene. But everything else, I'm so glad they kept it. Because what are you trying to do? Rewrite history? That happened.
Like, I don't, like, it's just, it's one of those things that I don't think it's ever, well, I mean, hopefully it changes, but...
Yeah, but, like, it happened. Like, a really bad thing happened. Yeah. What can you do?
Like, you have to show, like, you need to... And that's how you kind of, it's not learn, but, like, you kind of find out about this stuff, right? Like, how many people actually... Some people obviously go and watch the news and stuff, but, like, for people like me, I don't really follow... Like, I follow Indian cinema news.
For example, like, even the Gujarat riots... I was a baby then. Did I know that was happening? No.
Like
it's the same thing. Like, it's just people just get so pissed when you try and hold a mirror up to society, be like, hey, this is what it looks like.
And then just, I don't know, it's people, and
That's like, what I just like have major beef with the censor board, because I'm like, you can leave cuss words in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You can leave fight scenes, or you can leave religious symbology. Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, like, I don't know why people
Start to think it's deep when controversy like this comes up, or when like political parties are like, no, this movie needs to be banned or whatever. That's when people like start to get riled up. I don't think people are like checking for like details in the background like that, which is what some of the scenes in Empuran were that got cut. It was just like stuff in the background, like they had to get rid of that entire scene because of stuff in the background. Was it that deep? Did anyone notice it in the beginning?
I don't know. It's just some people. Hey, it definitely needs to change.